Have you ever poured a budget whiskey expecting a smooth, satisfying sip, only to regret it after the first burn? Millions of people buy affordable whiskey every year, convinced they're getting a smart deal. But the truth is, price doesn't protect you from disappointment. Today, we're ranking 10 budget whiskeys under $50, from forgettable pours to bottles that genuinely overdeliver. So you stop wasting money and start drinking smarter. Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon. This is the bottle you see everywhere, on back bars, in home collections, and poured casually when someone wants something reliable without thinking too hard. It's the default upgrade when people want to feel like they chose well without overspending. Buffalo Trace is the denim jacket of bourbon. Familiar, comfortable, and worn by almost everyone at some point. The aroma suggests warmth and richness, soft sweetness, a hint of spice, and the promise of balance. On the palate, it delivers a smooth opening, a rounded middle, and a finish that's pleasant but restrained. Nothing jumps out too far, and nothing overstays its welcome. Its strength is approachability. It works neat on ice or in cocktails without ever clashing. New drinkers feel safe here, and experienced ones know exactly what they're getting. In this ranking, that consistency earns respect, but its lack of surprise keeps it just shy of the very top. Evan Williams Black Label Bourbon. This is the bottle that lives in kitchen cabinets, shared apartments, and no-frills home bars, where value matters more than image. It's often poured casually, without ceremony, by people who want bourbon to be simple and dependable. Evan Williams Black feels like a well-worn work jacket. Not stylish, not exciting, but familiar and functional. The aroma hints at sweetness and warmth, setting the expectation for something easygoing. On the palate, it delivers a straightforward experience, mild sweetness up front, a touch of heat in the middle, and a finish that fades quickly without much afterthought. It doesn't surprise, but it doesn't offend either. To its credit, it's affordable, versatile, and works well in mixed drinks or everyday pours. For many drinkers, it's an accessible entry point that does exactly what's asked of it. But in a ranking focused on flavor depth and memorability, that simplicity keeps Evan Williams Black firmly in the lower half. Evan Williams Bottled in Bond. This is the bottle people reach for when they want the cheapest option, but refuse to drink something boring. You'll see it poured by value hunters who know exactly what they're doing. This bourbon is Black Label's older, louder sibling. Still affordable, but far more confident. The aroma promises more intensity right away, hinting at sweetness with an edge of spice. On the palate, it arrives fuller and firmer, with a bolder opening, a warmer mid-palate, and a finish that actually sticks around long enough to notice. It doesn't feel polished, but it feels intentional. Its biggest strength is honesty. It drinks well neat, stands up in cocktails, and offers real presence without asking for patience or training. For the price, it punches above its weight. In this ranking, that added backbone earns it a clear step above the Black Label, even if refinement keeps it out of the top tier. Jim Beam Double Oak. This is the bottle people reach for when standard bourbon starts to feel thin, but premium shelves still feel unnecessary. You'll see it at relaxed dinners, casual get-togethers, and home bars where someone wants a little more presence without making a statement or starting a conversation about price. Jim Beam Double Oak feels like dimming the lights in a familiar room. Same space, heavier atmosphere. The aroma immediately suggests warmth and richness, hinting at something deeper than the label prepares you for. On the palate, it opens smooth and controlled, then settles into a fuller, rounder middle that carries more weight than most bottles in this range. The finish lingers longer than expected, not aggressive or flashy, but steady, like it knows it belongs there. What works in its favor is confidence. This whiskey doesn't rush, and it doesn't apologize. It feels intentionally thicker, more grounded, and more deliberate than entry-level pours. It's comfortable neat, forgiving on ice, and strong enough to survive a cocktail without fading into the background. For many drinkers, this is the bottle that marks the shift from cheap and easy to chosen on purpose. That said, it still plays safely. It deepens the experience without challenging it. There are no sharp turns, no surprises, and no moments that force you to stop and rethink the glass. It delivers warmth and structure but avoids risk. In this ranking, that balance places it firmly in the middle, clearly elevated, clearly competent, but not daring enough to compete with bottles that leave a stronger emotional imprint. Larceny Bourbon. This is the bottle that rarely causes friction. You'll see it brought to dinners, poured at small gatherings, and offered to guests who hesitate and say they don't usually drink whiskey. It's chosen to keep the peace. Larceny feels like a calm voice in a noisy room, gentle, steady, and intentionally non-confrontational. The aroma leans soft and inviting, suggesting comfort rather than intensity. It promises ease, warmth, and nothing sharp around the edges. On the palate, it arrives quietly, opening with a gentle sweetness that flows into a rounded, mellow middle. There's no spike, no sudden heat, no moment that demands attention. The finish fades cleanly and politely, leaving space rather than insisting on being remembered. Its greatest strength is restraint. Larceny doesn't challenge, provoke, or surprise. Instead, it prioritizes smoothness and approachability above all else. New drinkers feel immediately safe here, and experienced ones recognize exactly what role this bottle plays. It's the kind of whiskey you pour when the focus is on conversation, food, or company, not on the glass itself. That same softness, however, defines its ceiling. While it's pleasant from first sip to last, it rarely evolves or deepens as you drink it. There's no turn, no extra layer waiting underneath, no moment where it suddenly reveals something unexpected. It delivers exactly what it promises: consistency, comfort, and ease. In this ranking, that reliability earns Larceny a strong position above many budget bottles, but its refusal to take risks or leave a lasting impression keeps it from climbing into the very top tier. Glenlivet 12-year, or Founder's Reserve. This is the bottle people order when they want to try Scotch without feeling exposed. You see it at bars when someone hesitates, at celebrations where no one wants to gamble, and in gift bags because it feels like a safe, respectable choice. Glenlivet is the clean white shirt of whiskey, polished, familiar, and unlikely to offend anyone in the room. The aroma suggests balance rather than intensity, setting expectations for something calm and controlled. On the palate, it delivers exactly that: a clean, gentle opening, a soft sweetness through the middle, and a light, refined finish that steps away quietly. Nothing clashes, nothing pushes forward, and nothing lingers too long. It feels measured, composed, and deliberately easy to drink. Its greatest strength is clarity. Glenlivet doesn't test the drinker or ask for patience. It removes friction from the experience and replaces it with reassurance. For many people, this is the bottle that turns Scotch from something intimidating into something approachable. It invites curiosity instead of resistance and allows the drinker to relax into the glass rather than brace for impact. That same politeness, however, defines its limits. Glenlivet rarely surprises. It doesn't shift dramatically as you drink it, and it doesn't leave a strong emotional imprint once the glass is empty. It performs its role cleanly and consistently, then steps aside. In this ranking, that accessibility earns Glenlivet a higher position than many budget bottles. It's trusted, widely loved, and undeniably competent. Even if the whiskeys above it leave a deeper, more memorable impression. Wild Turkey 101 Bourbon. This is the bottle people pour when they want to feel something. You'll find it in serious home bars, behind cocktail counters, and in the hands of drinkers who think most budget bourbon plays it too safe. Wild Turkey 101 is the raised voice in the room. Not angry, just impossible to ignore. The aroma promises intensity right away, hinting at warmth and weight rather than sweetness alone. On the palate, it arrives with confidence, filling the mouth immediately and refusing to soften itself. The experience feels bold and full-bodied, carrying heat, richness, and structure all at once. The finish stays firm and present long enough to remind you this wasn't meant to be background noise. Its biggest strength is authority. This bourbon doesn't dilute itself for mass appeal. It stands up in cocktails without disappearing and holds its ground neat without apology. Drinkers who want more presence without paying premium prices often land here and stay. That intensity, however, narrows its audience. For some, it feels overwhelming rather than inviting. It asks for attention, and not everyone wants that every night. In this ranking, that unapologetic character earns Wild Turkey 101 a high position: powerful, memorable, and excellent value, even if its boldness keeps it from being universally loved. Old Forester 100 Proof Bourbon. This is the bottle chosen by people who trust tradition more than trends. You'll see it poured by bartenders, loyalists, and drinkers who value consistency above hype. Old Forester 100 feels like a well-rehearsed routine, familiar, steady, and quietly confident. The aroma sets expectations for something classic and grounded. On the palate, it delivers a firm, structured experience that feels balanced rather than flashy. It opens clean, settles into a warm, steady middle, and finishes with a dryness that feels intentional, not rushed. Nothing spikes, nothing collapses. Its strength lies in reliability. This bourbon behaves the same way every time. It mixes beautifully, drinks cleanly on its own, and never surprises in the wrong direction. For many, it's a benchmark, a reference point for what solid bourbon should feel like. But reliability has a cost. Old Forester 100 rarely excites. It satisfies, but it doesn't provoke curiosity or emotion. You respect it more than you crave it. In this ranking, that dependability earns it a strong placement, but its lack of personality keeps it from climbing higher. Maker's Mark Bourbon. This is the bottle people reach for when they want smoothness without effort. You'll see it at dinners, celebrations, and first-time whiskey moments. Maker's Mark feels like a soft chair at the end of a long day. Comfortable, familiar, and forgiving. The aroma leans gentle and welcoming, promising ease rather than intensity. On the palate, it arrives soft and rounded, flowing smoothly without sharp turns. The experience feels creamy and relaxed, fading out without resistance or heat. Its greatest strength is accessibility. Beginners feel safe here, and casual drinkers appreciate how little it demands. It's friendly, shareable, and rarely disliked. That same softness limits its ceiling. Maker's Mark rarely surprises or deepens as you drink it. It stays pleasant, but never gripping. In this ranking, that universal appeal earns it respect, but its lack of tension and edge keeps it out of the top tier. Monkey Shoulder Blended Malt Scotch. This is the bottle people buy when they want Scotch without intimidation. You'll see it at casual tastings, home bars, and among drinkers curious but cautious. Monkey Shoulder feels like a conversation starter that never turns awkward. Easy, friendly, and modern. The aroma promises freshness and warmth. On the palate, it delivers a smooth, rounded experience that feels playful rather than serious. It opens gently, stays balanced, and finishes clean without demanding reflection. Its strength is approachability. It works neat, mixes well, and removes fear from Scotch. Many people start here and enjoy the ride, but simplicity defines its limits. Monkey Shoulder entertains but rarely lingers emotionally. In this ranking, that accessibility earns it a solid spot. Enjoyable, dependable, but not profound. Bulleit Bourbon. This is the bottle bartenders reach for when they want edge. You'll see it in cocktails, at parties, and in homes where drinkers prefer bite over sweetness. Bulleit feels like a firm handshake, direct, dry, and unapologetic. The aroma hints at sharpness rather than comfort. On the palate, it delivers a drier, spicier experience that feels more angular than round. The finish snaps cleanly, leaving a sense of structure rather than warmth. Its strength is definition. It cuts through mixers, stands out in cocktails, and appeals to drinkers who want something sharper. That sharpness, however, limits its range. Neat, it can feel rigid rather than inviting. In this ranking, that focused personality earns it a place, distinctive and useful, but not emotionally rich enough to climb higher. Glenlivet 12-year or Founder's Reserve. This is the bottle people order when they want to try Scotch without feeling exposed. You see it at bars when someone hesitates, at celebrations where no one wants to gamble, and in gift bags because it feels like a safe, respectable choice. Glenlivet is the clean white shirt of whiskey. Polished, familiar, and unlikely to offend anyone in the room. The aroma suggests balance rather than intensity, setting expectations for something calm and controlled. On the palate, it delivers exactly that. A clean, gentle opening, a soft sweetness through the middle, and a light, refined finish that steps away quietly. Nothing clashes, nothing pushes forward, and nothing lingers too long. It feels measured, composed, and deliberately easy to drink. Its greatest strength is clarity. Glenlivet doesn't test the drinker or ask for patience. It removes friction from the experience and replaces it with reassurance. For many people, this is the bottle that turns Scotch from something intimidating into something approachable. It invites curiosity instead of resistance and allows the drinker to relax into the glass rather than brace for impact. That same politeness, however, defines its limits. Glenlivet rarely surprises. It doesn't shift dramatically as you drink it, and it doesn't leave a strong emotional imprint once the glass is empty. It performs its role cleanly and consistently, then steps aside. Johnnie Walker Black Label. This is the bottle that appears when people want Scotch without starting an argument. You'll see it behind busy bars, at celebrations, and in homes where versatility matters more, dan persoonlijkheid. Johnnie Walker Black Label is the reliable suit in a room full of personalities. Always appropriate, never risky. The aroma suggests balance right away. Nothing too sharp, nothing too soft. It hints at fruit, warmth, and a touch of depth. On the palate, it moves smoothly from a gentle opening into a layered middle that feels controlled rather than expressive. There's sweetness, a whisper of smoke, and a mild spice that holds everything together. The finish stays present just long enough to feel complete, then steps back politely. Its greatest strength is flexibility. This is a whiskey that works in almost every situation. It holds up neat, doesn't collapse with ice, and survives mixing without losing its identity. Experienced drinkers respect it for its consistency, while casual ones trust it because it never misbehaves. But that balance is also its ceiling. Johnnie Walker Black Label rarely surprises or challenges. It doesn't ask the drinker to slow down, and it doesn't reward deep attention. It's designed to please broadly, not to provoke or linger emotionally. In this ranking, that universal competence earns it a high spot, but its careful restraint keeps it just below bottles that take more personality-driven risks. Traveler Whiskey, Buffalo Trace collaboration. This is the bottle people pick when they want something familiar, but not obvious. You'll see it poured by curious drinkers who want to step slightly off the beaten path without leaving it entirely. Traveler feels like a detour that still leads somewhere comfortable. Different, but not disorienting. The aroma suggests approachability first, with a soft warmth that feels welcoming rather than bold. On the palate, it opens smooth and easy, then settles into a balanced middle that feels rounded and intentional. The finish doesn't rush, and it doesn't bite. It lingers just enough to feel considered, not accidental. Its strength is identity without intimidation. Traveler offers character without asking the drinker to work for it. It feels modern, accessible, and carefully positioned between casual and intentional. New drinkers feel invited, while experienced ones appreciate that it knows exactly what it's trying to be. Where it falls short is depth. While enjoyable from start to finish, it doesn't evolve much in the glass. The experience is steady rather than dynamic, comfortable rather than gripping. In this ranking, that clarity of purpose earns Traveler a podium position. Distinctive, well-balanced, and easy to like, even if it stops short of true standout complexity. Pendleton Original Whiskey. This is the bottle chosen for ease. You'll find it at gatherings where whiskey isn't the focus, but no one wants something harsh or polarizing. Pendleton feels like a soft landing, gentle, familiar, and reassuring. The aroma leans mild and approachable, setting expectations for something smooth and uncomplicated. On the palate, it delivers exactly that. A clean entry, a soft middle, and a finish that fades quietly without resistance. There's no spike, no sharp edge, and no moment that demands attention. Its greatest strength is comfort. Pendleton doesn't challenge, confuse, or overwhelm. Beginners feel immediately at home, and casual drinkers appreciate how effortlessly it goes down. It's a whiskey designed to be shared, not analyzed. But comfort has its limits. Pendleton rarely leaves a lasting impression once the glass is empty. It supports the moment rather than defining it, and it avoids any risk that might elevate it further. In this ranking, that extreme approachability earns it a high placement, but its lack of tension and depth keeps it just shy of the very top. Some bottles earn their price, others just wear a label. If this list saved you from a bad pour or pointed you toward one worth keeping, subscribe for more honest rankings that cut through the hype. No trends, no brand worship, just bottles that actually deserve your money.